Chachanator here. Welcome back to another video. Another deathmatch game here. This time played between myself, Chachanator, and Fruit.Apple. I just recently started playing deathmatch and really enjoying it. I say recently. I think I started about a week ago, so pretty recently. But watched some videos, learned a little about it. And yeah, really enjoying it. For those of y'all that don't know, deathmatch is a way to play AoE where you start off with a bunch of resources and you have to build your armies up quickly, expand quickly, and also have to build up quite a bit of eco as well. It may look like you have a lot of resources, but you will blow through those resources really quick. You can see Fruit.Apple here also playing as the Britons, and he's going for a market here really quick. Didn't quite get a villager, but did delay that market, so that's pretty good. And now I need to move that little light cavalry guy before he dies. One of the ways to find your enemy is to look for the berry bushes. So you can see that's where the berry bushes were. I should say deathmatch is played on reveal map, so you can see all the resources and stuff. But we're both going for a little bit of different build. To be fair, I had never really seen a Brits war before, so I wasn't really sure what to go for. Obviously archers, but also I was going for some oh wow, I lost a villager. That's really not good. But I decided to go for some cavaliers. It's a little probably out of the norm. I'm not really sure why I decided to go for cavaliers. The Britons don't really get the best cavaliers. They get all the armor upgrades, but they are missing bloodlines. So yeah, I don't know if it was the best choice, but again, I was kind of wasn't really sure what to go for. So I was planning on going for archers, and I was going to throw in some champs as well. It was kind of a messy start. So anyway, we'll see. That's just part of not being too experienced. Fruit.Apple doing something weird. He's going for skirmishers, it looks like. That's a bit odd. Looks like he's already building his 2 town centers really nice and early on that. Also getting his market up, so he's planning on crashing the market right away. You can see once he gets that market up, he's going to sell a bunch of resources at the market. Probably mostly food, and in Britons where you use quite a bit of wood to make archers, wood and gold. The nice thing about going with these cavaliers is I'm being able to be quite aggressive and keep him in his base, and he hasn't been able to get to me too much. I think I killed a few villagers, maybe not, but we'll be able to kill these skirmishers really easily. And he is pop cap, so that's a little messy from him. Chachanator over here on 42 pop, not pop cap. You can see how it's really kind of slowed him down. 33 pop to 42. And coming forward, should be able to find a good amount of villagers here. Looking at the map, we can see the main gold for Fruit.Apple is over here. Pretty good spot there. Looks like I'll get a few villagers if I, yeah, I should get a few villagers. And delay that town center a bit. Looks already going for a castle. I built these 2 monsters extremely early. I saw he was going for the market, and I was like, well, I'll just go for the relics. So I'm going to pick up those relics really nice and early. Looking at relic placement, we can see we got 1 relic here, 1 here. I'm sorry, 1 in the north, 1 a little bit to the northeast, 1 a little south of my base, and 1 to the west, and 1 very, very, very far south. So I would say the relics are a little bit closer to me, so that's pretty nice. Looks like this initial rating is pretty much over, so Fruit.Apple's going to be able to relax a bit. Looking again at his base, we've got secondary gold in the front, both of them in the front. We have an extra gold way over here in the south, and the other extra gold is way to the west. So my secondary gold is a little on the front, main gold over here, not too bad. And my other secondary gold is here in the back. So really not a terrible map. This hill right here is right between us. I can tell right at the beginning of the game that this is going to be a very important hill, so going to have to take that. And you can see we're just massing up units right now, although I am housed. There you go. Not housed anymore. Going to put a bunch of villagers, task them all to building that. Going for the other relic, and Fruit.Apple doesn't even have monastery out. Going for some walls really early on to help protect his eco. That's a little different. Fruit.Apple's this game was played on Steam. Fruit.Apple was a 2K player, deathmatch player on Steam, and I'm about a I think 1700 when I played this, 1750. I think 1750, something around there. No real hills over here, so not really a great place to put that castle. So just throw it there, kind of on the side, and see gathering in these relics. As long as I send the monks back, so he probably hasn't noticed yet. Cavalry coming forward just to see what was there. Gonna deny that castle, so good find there, and gonna clear a couple of villagers. Chachanator on 100 pop, and looks like Fruit.Apple on about the same pop cap. He does have a lot of trash here though, and champions are great at destroying trash, so I think I could engage this and do all right. In fact, I don't. He's got champions. I see some champions now, so not all trash. Going for a bunch of castles here on the front. 4 castles right on the front. I usually don't like to build my castles that far, that close together, just because I feel like if you're going to lose control, you're just going to lose a bunch of castles around the back. Lots of archers for him, Fruit.Apple, and he's just going for a lot of skirms. Skirms will be good against the archers, but again, I can counter that pretty easily if I keep making Cavalier, or if I keep making just champions. Even champions would do great against his army composition right now. But I think he's gonna, yeah, there's longbowman. I was gonna say, I think he's gonna start throwing in some longbowmen here. 130 pop, still pop cap, he needs to get to work on that. Although he is higher population than I am, I'm only at 120 right now. Pretty even though, and starting to spread out, throwing up my town centers. He got those town centers up a lot earlier, so that definitely should be noted. And looks like he's building another castle in his base for some additional protection. Lots of military buildings for him. Gonna be losing some champions here on the front to these castles. You can see he's starting to get real aggressive. I am pretty content to just cling to my hill. Gonna start throwing in some onagers here because he's got a lot of skirms and he's staying really bunched up. But this hill is definitely very important. Hills are extremely important in this game. And you can see throwing another castle here on again on another hill. This hill will be able to protect coming into the base, and this castle will also be able to protect that gold a little bit. Starting to expand, building more town centers here in the back, having some Cavalier, probably send those forward and start doing some raiding with them. And probably going to stop making Cavaliers here in a little bit. Starting to get on those longbow production. You see the differences between a longbowman and arbalast are basically just the attack and range. And I guess elite longbowman also has a bit more armor, but they're not yeah. But 12 range, that's pretty darn good. You can see these guys can shoot quite a long ways. But throwing in Arbalast just to give you a little bit of extra numbers out there. Interestingly enough, no siege workshops here for Fruit.Apple. He's not going for any real high siege count, just these trebs. Also, you can see I sent this Cavalier forward to keep him off moving to this extra gold, but it doesn't look like he's really interested in doing that right now. Again, more castles on the front. He's going to have those 4 castles here, and these skirms putting him in a staggered position so that they take less damage. And these onagers really aren't doing too much. Kind of need to mass a little bit more of them up. One of the things though is Britons, they don't get the extra range on their skirmishers, so they don't have the +1 range for feudal or castle age, +1 for feudal, and yeah. So lots of skirms. They're gonna do all right against these. I don't really have a whole lot of archers matched up right now. And he's got these trebuchets shooting away on these castles. The nice thing is they are built on the hill, so they'll be taking 25% less damage. Looks like Fruit.Apple still expanding. He's got a bunch of farms coming up. I think that's a little early for farms, considering he's playing as Britons. He's not spending that much food. Although yeah, oh well, he's spending a lot of food. I forgot he's making skirmishers. So yeah, he's spending quite a bit of food. Almost out, 180 population now for Fruit.Apple. And Chachanator is sitting on 130, so kind of struggling to get things up. These champions will do a good job against these skirmishers though. And that's mostly what he has is skirmishers. So as long as I keep making these onagers, they'll be doing fine. I think it's these trebs are going to be a real issue. and I really don't want to be losing this hill. Expanding though, gonna put another castle kind of on a hill, not sure if that one's gonna count, and gonna start going for that gold there. These Cavalier coming forward, I was looking to try to raid some more gold, but he hasn't really quite moved there yet. And we also have this gold over here that's kind of uncontested right now. Again, another castle right here on this hill would be a pretty ideal spot. And these onagers really aren't doing too great. That castle finally going down, unfortunately for me. And looks like these workshops will probably go down as well. Chachanator at the limit on gold right now, but if you can see, Fruit.Apple has tons of gold, and that's because he's just literally just making trash. He's throwing a few longbowmen in every now and then, but Siege probably wouldn't be the worst thing for him to add. I think onagers are a decent choice. He's not really grouping up though. He's doing a good job staying staggered, but 180 population now for Fruit.Apple, 125 from Chachanator, so he's doing a good job staying on top of this population. Gonna send these Cavalier forward, and one of the things to note is I'm bringing back that relic, and that is the 5th relic. So I got 5 relics right now, so that's going to give me a huge advantage, just an absolute enormous advantage the longer this game goes on. And I know I stress that in almost every deathmatch game I talk about is the relics, but I don't think Fruit.Apple, he doesn't even have a monastery up. He never even tried going for the relics. He didn't even try protecting the relics, so perhaps he figured he was just going to end this soon and didn't even want to worry about it. But yeah. And this is kind of, Briton wars are always interesting, but now you can see those onagers finally starting to do their job. And I need to micro them a little better, but I'm just focusing on a bazillion things right now. One of the things though is, yeah, see, it's just really starting to clean out. But I am fighting on a hill for the most part, so that's pretty helpful for me. I finally had to start throwing in a few skirmishers just because well, I was running out of gold. And I guess now I got gold, but it just wasn't efficient having my archers fight all these skirmishers. I think a few champions again would have been nice. Still hanging around 130 population, and Fruit.Apple finally dropping a little bit, so now he's down to 150. I think these onagers had quite a bit to do with that, and I need to start trying to target things like this. Fruit.Apple though is starting to get a lot more longbowmen now. You can see he has a lot less skirmishers than he had, and he's starting to have a bit of a food issue, and he's throwing up a bunch of farms. He needs to throw some villagers on those farms though, and he's also having a wood issue, but looks like he is currently working on that right now. Britons are pretty wood intensive. My eco's looking a lot better. I think I've lost a lot less units too at this point, just looking at the dead bodies. And it's actually pretty even. Pretty ugly fight. It's actually kind of funny, you see all these guys everywhere. Okay, I don't know, that was a little morbid. I probably shouldn't have said it was funny. Gonna get a castle up here on the south side of the map, so I'm currently sitting on both extra golds, got a few Cavalier there, and that's pretty good. Although just now I'm moving to the secondary gold here because my other, was that main? Yeah, it's main. Because my main gold is pretty much out and these villagers have to go somewhere, and I haven't noticed yet. Starting to lose my hill, and I'm trying to send everything to try to hold that hill and make sure I keep it. But it's starting to become a little bit of a futile attempt. He has that mass, and he's able to just sit on that hill and keep it. He's able to keep me off that hill pretty well. Again, a castle right here would probably be a good spot to put one. And he hasn't gone to his secondary golds at all. He's just now going to his first secondary gold, so he's done a really good job preserving his gold. I'd be surprised if he has. I can't believe he still has so much, actually. But he did use the market, so he got quite a bit of resources doing that. Let's go ahead and see. You can see that it's been sold out quite a bit. So looks like he has about 110 villagers. And Chachanator, let's switch Chachanator real quick. I have about a lot more miners, 70. I got about 110 villagers as well. So both on about 110 villagers. I wish it was like Googly where it would count and keep track of you. But that means my military is quite small right now. If I got 110 villagers, it means I only have about 30 military. So probably looks about right. So now he has the advantage that he has this hill. He just needs to come and clean this hill, and he's going to have pretty easy access to my base. I think I should throw up a castle here or something, would probably be good. but although he could just put a Trev and retake that hill. I need to change my gathering points. You can see these Arbalasts are just walking to their doom, starting to throw a few more crossbows in there, and starting to run out of wood as well. You can see I'm immediately switching a bunch of villagers over to that, and finally built a mining camp. Going for that castle over here on the north, like I was saying. It's a good spot for one. A few Cavalier now coming forward, going to go do something, and going to get a town center up on this gold. So going to try to hold this spot pretty well. You can see Fruit.Apple has quite a big hold on this hill now. I'm just trying to mass up some army. Again, I need to move this, one of these archery ranges has a bad these 3 archery ranges have a gathering point over here. So basically every unit I make in here is just walking to their doom until I change that. Gonna try to mine this gold as fast as I can. Look at this. I see that Fruit.Apple is now coming over there, and he is burning quite a few longbowmen. He doesn't want me to get that castle up. He wants this gold for himself. And 60 pops, 63%, and he's just sending a whole bunch more longbowmen, and that's an awful lot of longbowmen. And right here on the front, it's wide open. He's got a nice hill, so I know why he's coming over here. So all these villagers died for pretty much nothing. I mean, they weren't able to get that castle up, and I should have GB'd these poor villagers. That's probably lost about 20 villagers right there. That's a pretty big chunk. And now I'm going to be able to reclaim the hill, though, because he did leave it wide open. But this castle wasn't quite able to go up. Let's see what Fruit.Apple's plan is. He is on 200 pop, and he's looking pretty well on all his resources. His only problem right now is that he doesn't have 5 relics. He is missing a bunch of relics. He has no relics, I should say. Sending a Treb over here, he was able to see that I'm mining this extra gold right here, and he doesn't want me to get it. So right here, I moved forward, and I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that he let this hill go. So now Fruit.Apple moving his army over here, but now it's going to be fighting uphill. I patrolled this. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're going absolutely haywire and just walking right into their deaths. But moving forward a bunch more, and I got an onager too. See how that onager does. Trebuchet hitting the castle, going to repair it and try to keep that castle up. Going to send a bunch of villagers forward to try to keep this castle from going up. And it looks like Fruit.Apple coming forward to try to get a castle on this gold, although it is in this other castle's range. This Treb's going to go down, and these onagers now coming forward. Let's see if they get a good shot. I think most of them are going to be dead by the time they get there, but there's a shot, and there's a siege onager shot. Yay. Look at all this, ton of villagers. Looks like about, I don't know, 20, 25 villagers now coming forward. And I was able to reclaim the hill, so that's good for me. He had a pretty good route right into the middle of my base, but he decided to come this way instead. This castle now going up, now Fruit.Apple trying to get his castle up desperately. So he's got all these villagers around here, and not even building. The site is obstructed for some reason, but now it's not. I don't know what was obstructing it. I don't see anything there. But now there's going to be a bunch of dead villager bodies. Let's go back over here. There's so much going on. He had sent this, I guess he sent this military away, and these Cavalier killed them all, so now these Cavalier are going to take down that trebuchet, and this castle's going to stay safe. Building this castle on the hill is basically what probably kept that alive. Now coming in for wave 2 of all these villagers, so he's sending more villagers forward, and now his population is really, really dropping. He's now only down to 130 population. He doesn't have all his castles queued up. He's not making anything out of his... Yeah, he's literally just making units out of his stables right now. Sending his trebuchet forward and no protections. Pretty much just a suicide run. And there's another siege onager. I wish there were siege onagers. So that castle not going up. So that's unfortunate for him. He is going to get a castle over here on the east. And he's going to be able to protect this town center and the back of his eco. So... not a bad spot for a castle, but again, this hill would be a much better spot. But obviously, he can't do that with another castle there. Looks like Fruit.Apple really dropping on pop, 108 now, and Chachanator on 172. Getting this castle up was pretty critical, and also while doing that, I was able to keep this castle over here safe. Fruit.Apple now going for a bunch of stables. Looks like he wants to go for some Cavalier himself. And these poor guys I forgot about, so they're just going to die to the 5 enormous amount of castles here on the front. And same with these longbowmen. I guess they were chasing a treb. See if they get the treb. Nope, not going to. It's amazing how fast they die. Arrows everywhere. They're just arrows absolutely everywhere, and you can see these are onagers doing their work. So I got 3 onagers on the hill. Gonna get another castle up on the hill. So reclaim my hill. That's excellent. Wow, just archers everywhere. And there's another treb coming forward with no HP. I think that's a dead trebuchet, maybe not. Got a trebuchet out on my own, hitting that castle. Another castle up coming up from Fruit.Apple. He's just got stone everywhere, doesn't he? Yeah, pretty much. Lots of villagers now mining this gold. I want to get it before I lose it, moving them from this extra gold. So this pretty much means I've got most of the extra gold. A bunch of Cavalier now coming forward from Fruit.Apple. He's on 140 pop. Chachanator on 180. And doing pretty good except for wood as far as resources are considered. Fruit.Apple doing good except for gold, and gold's kind of a big one. And I suppose the question... Oh, now sending a bunch of villagers forward again. This is wave 3 for villagers. Gonna try to get this castle up. He's on 53%. These trebuchets look like they're going to go down. All I have is skirmishers over here and a few longbowmen, so good job for him. This is really sad that trebuchet only has 7 hit points and it's able to last so long. 68%, 70%. Let's go ahead and see if it comes up. He also has trebuchets over here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 trebuchets. One's not unpacked yet, and I'm not repairing that castle. He's on 82%, and I don't think it's going to go up. I think those villagers are dead. Yep, all dead. So that castle doesn't go up. It looks like I'm going to lose my castle right now. So lost that castle over here. And right now, Fruit.Apple, he's got this 1 gold here, secondary gold. And he's got what's left of his main gold. And he's got another secondary gold here. So he has gold, he just needs to mine it. This castle not going up. And looks like he's going to lose this castle here. Another tribe coming in. And I need to keep these onagers safe. There's more cavalry, so good job switching to cavalry for him. He was able to, you know, he saw that I had a way lot of skirmishers, and he took advantage of that. Onager going to try to get a shot in, but he has him staggered, just killing one. Really kind of worthless there. And a few longbowmen, and longbowmen not masked up aren't going to do a great job against these cavaliers, so this is all probably going to get cleaned up. There's still quite a bit of gold there still to be gathered as well. Looks like I'm over here just trying to keep him off gold, and you can see Fruit.Apple really running low on gold. He's not seeing this right now. He's not seeing these longbows here just killing. Looks like he may have saw it now. Back over here on the north, in the middle of the map actually, you can see, looks like wave 4 now. Wave 4 for Fruit.Apple is going to try to get this castle up, and I think they'll get it this time. I really do. There's really not anything over there to stop them. Clinging to my hill, looks like this castle on the hill is getting sieged. And yep, this looks like this castle will go up, and he will be able to keep me off this gold. This will stay a neutral gold for a while now, because there's basically 2 castles in range of it. Again, over here, starting to push, getting a treb out, a few longbowmen. You can see Fruit.Apple's still really low on gold, and probably low on villagers too, I would imagine. And I'm gonna just okay, he moved to this gold. He did. I was gonna say maybe he didn't see it, so he's now starting to go ahead and get this gold while he has a chance. And Chachanator on 188 pop, so I am beating him as far as pop is considered. And I'm doing well on all my resources. I just need to manage my army well and push and, well, keep from losing castles. Looks like I lost another castle. Going for some archery ranges on the front, but those are going to get taken down pretty quick. Basically be able to get reinforcements in a lot easier. Having to switch from going not so many skirmishers because well, basically his knights were just destroying them, and also starting to make a few halberdier here and there to take care of that cavalry just a little bit better. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trebuchets for Fruit.Apple. These two Trebs went ahead and took out that TC, kicked him off gold again. Gonna go over here and do a little bit of raiding. He's got a big hole in his base, but these longbowmen are just kind of walking aimlessly. They should be able to kill these guys pretty easily. Moving off my hill a bit, looks like I want to try to shoot these trebuchets to death, but I don't think that's the safest thing to do. Too bad I don't have a few knights out here or something. They could come over here and kill these trebs for nothing. And right now, trebs are going to be really important. You can see I'm starting to run out of gold as well. And it's basically starting to look to be a bit of a trash war. There's a bit more gold to mine down here. And for me, that's it. Other than this gold over here to the north. And the rest of it is just all fruit apples, and Fruit.Apple hasn't gathered it all yet. So I've used pretty much all my gold, and Fruit.Apple, he still has a bunch to mine, so that's good for him. But his population isn't looking good at all. He's only at 106 population. He's low on wood. He's pretty low on food. But Chachanator, I just used a ton of resources. I'm completely out of food too. I think I'm starting to. I guess I'm starting to make halberdier now. And I really didn't have many farms set up because I was just going for archers and I just did occasional skirmishers. So now that I've switched up my army composition, I'm going to need to get a bunch more food stuff. And you see these villagers I sent forward to try to repair that castle, but didn't quite make it. But he will lose all 3 of these trebs, and he lost these other 2 trebs as well. So that's 600 gold and 600 wood, so that's not a fun thing to lose. Keeping him off his gold here, I should come over there and mine it, but he's got this one castle here that's probably in range, so going to try to trip that down. And really no reaction here. Fruit.Apple is starting to go for a few champs. I don't think champs are a good option right now, because I still have Arbalast. If I was on pure trash, champs would be a great option, but not right now. Gonna kick him off this gold that is well, technically mine. That's my secondary gold. Treb's working on this castle, and I don't know if he's noticed. Looks like he's going to try to wall this up, keep from those archers coming in it again and harassing his economy. Chachanator is starting to look a little low on resources, only 180 pop, and Fruit.Apple is looking pretty good. So the problem right now for Fruit.Apple is well, his population is low, and really low actually, only 92 population. But the other problem for him is that he has no relics and I have 5, so that's a real big issue. The market is pretty sold out. Looks like he bought some wood, because I know I sure didn't. And the food can actually be sold a bit more too. And this is kind of funny, these archers actually outrange it, and I'm not even... didn't notice. It looks like I noticed now. These poor villagers, they were so greedy and just had to gather as much gold as they could, and looks like they lost their lives over a few measly things of gold. These 2 trebs not looking to be the safest. Now there's a bunch of light cavalry coming in. It's come to that point where light cavalry need to be made because it's just not worth it in the gold to make cavalier, although that being said, he is making a few. Need to make sure not throwing away units here. Fruit.Apple, 100 population, and looks like trying to get a castle up. Going to try to get some trebs over here and take down this castle, which I don't think is on a hill. I'm pretty sure we talked about that earlier. This castle going down here, and looks like a few stables going down as well. These dudes were able to hold out, and probably could use with making a few more military over here. Starting to build my economy over here, which is a little dangerous, because if I do lose this, that economy is definitely exposed, but these villagers don't really have much better to do other than chop wood. And I got plenty of wood right now. I got wood out my ears. These trebs need to start doing some work here so I can start mining some gold. And right now the gold is literally just trickling in from relics, and I'm at 190 population, which is great, but starting to run low on food. And thus me throwing up a bunch of farms everywhere. Trying to, anyway. These villagers just finished this castle. Looks like they're probably going to go to gold after this castle goes down, which should be pretty soon because I don't see any villagers coming over to build it. one of the things to notice is Fruit.Apple's kind of running out of good wood to chop. He's chopped this wood mostly, and he's now moved over here. Good wood, I should say safe wood. He's got this wood here in the front. He's got wood over here, which is also in the battlefield, so he's kind of running out of wood. I have close to 3/4 of the map, so map control is definitely not in his favor. He's down to, oh, I thought it was 84 pop. That's me at 180 pop right now. And gonna take out that castle, and we'll be able to mine some gold, build some military buildings over here, and keeping the halberdier around the trebs, keep them safe. Trebs are so important right now. Basically, castles become a whole lot stronger later in this game because me talking about how important trebs are and keeping them alive, and now I'm just going to lose 2 for, I guess he decided to finally stop this push over here. This gold here is really important right now. There's a close to 2,000 gold right here, and that can, this should be where I would imagine most of the fighting should be going right now. I think he should be trying so hard to keep this gold safe. At least that's what I'll be doing as him. And I think, I was going to say, if I got the stone, I should drop a castle here. I do have the stone. I should probably drop another castle on the front. Basically, castles have become a lot stronger later on in the game because you can't afford as many trebs. Now, I've made a shoot ton of onagers here, probably way more than I should have. And it looks like these longbowmen are about to find out what fiery rocks landing on top of their head feels like, and there's a big loss for Ikamali there. Throwing in a few champions, and yeah, big loss. Looks like these onagers did a good job paying for themselves, and I didn't even micro him, wasn't even paying attention. So Fruit.Apple probably wanted to try to kill a few villagers and instead wind up dying. These poor guys died a fiery, horrible death. Poor lads. Fruit.Apple is up now to 141 pop. Chachanator 185, so he has climbed quite a bit up in population. I don't know if that's military or if it's mostly economy, but he's got a lot of wood. No, that's Chachanator's got a lot of wood. Fruit.Apple has not as much wood, but still not a small amount. These need to make sure to try to keep these onagers safe. They are going to be powerful and engagements fighting a large amount of archers, but they could easily be killed by just a few knights as well. Looks like some hussars coming in to go take out that treb. This castle's on a hill, and this castle's done a good job staying alive. Fruit.Apple's out of stone and will not be able to keep repairing this castle unless he buys some. And I don't think he has any stone to mine. He's got 127 stone left to mine if he decides to. And he's probably going to lose this castle. I was going to say I don't see anything coming to stop it, but I really don't have any military protecting it either. Here come forward a few skirms, and I don't... Well, these onagers could kill those. I think these onagers are probably going to chase villagers and die to this castle. And looks like this castle goes down, and these trebs might go down. These onagers are shooting at one villager. Look at that. Look at her. She should play dodgeball or something. That what's that? 1 HP villager is distracting all these. Look at that. He distracted all these onagers, and she lived to tell about it. What a boss villager. That was incredible. Onagers now dying to 2 scouts. Really bad there. And looks like these 2 trebs might die too. Mostly just skirmishers, but there are a few longbowmen. This is a pretty good push here. The villagers now coming forward to try, and all those, basically all those onagers died to just 2 villagers. Not only did they not manage to kill 1 villager over here who had 1 HP, where did she go? There she is, 1 HP. She dodged every single shot. It's unbelievable. And basically this whole push was made possible thanks to Mrs. Villager over there. Chachanator now coming forward. I'm going to go ahead and mine this gold if he's going to give me a chance to. And I should probably send even more villagers over than that because gold's just so important. You can see I'm at 1,000 gold, but I'm not really spending it. Going mostly for trash. And again, out of food. What's new? If you've seen any of my other deathmatch games, you know I just enjoy not having food. and Fruit.Apple, also not with much food and completely out of gold. He has no trickle of gold. He doesn't even have a trickle of gold coming in. Any gold he wants, he's going to have to sell to get. I don't see any gold left for him to mine, except this gold right here, which I think he should be fighting tooth and nail to get. And looks like he has now switched his sights from over here, where he could kill a few villagers and stuff, to coming over this way, where he could reap the benefits of this beautiful yellow stuff that we call gold. So I think that's a smart choice for him. I think he needs to get on this as much as he can, and I'm noticing that as too. So you see me fortifying this with a lot of a lot of extra buildings and stuff, and starting to make some trebs. Probably take down these castles, but that's not really going to happen. If I notice, I should pull this trebuchet back, or it's going to die a pretty terrible death. Yep, I think it's going to die a pretty terrible death. Some onagers over here would be good. He's starting to really bunch these guys up, and nope, this treb looks like it's going to come out unscathed and live to fight again another day. Sending a few scout cavalry into the back of his base to try to do some damage, but these aren't Hussars. They don't, you know, they're really not that great, and they're going to get killed by these castle pretty easily, so kind of a waste there. And, excuse me. Sorry, that was my phone. This front over here, I'm trying to fortify, try to build a bunch of buildings here, and I basically need to try to delay this until I can start getting some military units coming out over here. Let's see, I don't really have the food again, and hey y'all, sorry about that. Had to go ahead and take that phone call, but let's go ahead and get back in this. So basically we have a pretty formidable army coming here now from the south. A lot of skirmishers, but he's got a few longbowmen in here as well, and he's ready to take this gold back. And again, I think that's a pretty solid choice from Fruit.Apple, considering the fact that gold is becoming a bit of a rarity. He has no other source of gold income, and I think this is kind of his last hurrah. If he's not able to claim this gold and gather a lot of it, then he's going to be pretty much out of this game. Anyway, you can see here, I'm kind of trying to push on two ends here. Starting to get a few stables up and get a few trebs out now, and targeting that castle right away. And I need something to help slow this down. He needs some siege to push and take that castle out, but he doesn't seem to have any, so these barracks are going to help buy some time. You can see I have quite a bit of gold now piling up, and those relics are just doing some work now. You can just see that gold just trickling in, and right now that's my only source of gold income. You just see you can see the difference it's causing. So remember what I was saying, is that gold just makes such a big difference. I mean, if it's a team game, really not so much. Fruit.Apple is at the pop limit. He is at 200 pop right now, and Chachanator only 166, but I got the gold. Just seeding a bunch of farms back here for Fruit.Apple, and Eco's kind of safe. He does have a big hole as well. And these guys really aren't doing anything. So I got time, and I'm going to use that to mass up some military. You can see I'm starting to go for some scout cows. This is mostly skirmishers, although he's smart throwing in a few halberdier. A few skirmishers coming forward, trying to take out these trebs. Doesn't look like he's going to get them. And it looks like this castle's probably going to go down. Fruit.Apple only has 7 stones, so really no stone. Again, he could mine just that little bit right there. And this, again, he's got a pretty formidable force here with no siege. I was going to say I'm not sure why he's not making any. Well, he can now. There you go. There's his treb. I was going to say he only has like 200 gold. Gold is really rare for him. Some scouts coming forward trying to do some damage. These guys coming forward doing some damage. These trebs. Blue castle up, probably going to move on to castle number 2. And yeah, this army can't really do too much without any siege, but there's that treb coming forward now. Again, saying how castles do become pretty important later on as the game continues. Well, he can't really just push against this castle right now, although he could go around. Although, I mean, really what he needs to do is he just needs to protect this gold. And I need to stop him from getting this gold, so I should probably be a whole lot more aggressive here, trying to push forward and making sure he doesn't mine any of that gold. Trebuchet coming forward, gonna try to take out that castle. These trebuchets over here taking out a town center, and I got a whole kind of free run at this economy. He does have a castle back here though to keep that pretty safe. A couple of halberdier coming forward. Skirmishers do have an attack bonus against halberdier. Basically, in a trash war is a game of rock paper scissors. You got the scout beats the skirmisher, skirmisher beats the halberdier, and the halberdier beats the light calf or cavalry, whatever. So you can see the skirmisher is going to be, I think, clean these guys up pretty easily. Kind of just threw him away. Losing a few houses. Fruit.Apple still on 191 pop, so he's doing just fine. Starting to have a gold trickle in, so he can actually make gold units. You can see that Treb now hitting this castle. These two Trebs going to come forward, and there are your siege workshops. And a few onagers are all I need to, I think, make this army history. I'm saying I think. I should think a lot. I think he should. Say it again. He should probably put some more villagers here on this gold just to, well, it's pretty much gone. He's gathering it pretty quickly. So I think by the time, I said again, I'm so self-conscious about it now. But by the time I finally push him back, that gold will probably be gone. There's these siege onagers now coming forward. He's got that Treb there. Got a little bit of a Treb war going here, but it's just 1-on-2, so I should be able to kill his Treb pretty easily. And this castle should stay up. Chachanator got 341 stone. I can repair that all day. Two Trebs now coming forward. Gonna start hitting that castle, and he's making longbowmen. I think making longbowmen right now is a bad choice. He should be saving his gold for just pure siege. But he's in a pretty dire spot right now. Perhaps he could try doing one last hurrah for the gold. You can see I'm going to throw a castle up here on this hill again. It's probably, I think, my 5th castle over here on the hill. But remember, castles are pretty tough to take down right now. He can't just make 6 Trebs and come over here and take this castle out real quickly. Looks like he is evacuating this army. Bad choice. He still has 1,000 gold over here. But he has to stop this push somehow, and yeah, sending forward his whole army, and that will give me a chance. If I knew, I do know, I got a skirmisher over here. I should come here, push this, and keep him. You know, it's a game of right now. It's just a game of whoever I think can amass the most amount of gold. 176 population for Chachanator, 187 for Fruit.Apple, pretty even. These trebuchets will go down, and bye-bye Trebs. Gonna have to do something to stop this. He has quite a big force here, but they can't, can't push in too much without running into another castle. So he's gonna have to get Trebs or something out, and let's see what he's going for. I don't see any siege whatsoever. Only 2 villagers mining this gold. I think I killed all the other ones, and this army is just kind of just sitting camping here. And now the Trebs are moving forward, gonna start working on perhaps taking down more castles, or I'm gonna bust a hole in this gate so I can raid his economy back here. I did not realize this was open, and I don't think he I think it is open. Coming forward, that castle didn't wind up going up. He saw it. He's going to deny that castle, and that's not great news, but that's alright. A few more onagers coming forward. They're going to do a good job stopping this. Skirm's not coming forward. Going to take him off this gold. There's still about 1,000 gold left here, so it's up for grabs right now. I have a pretty good firm control of it, though, and looks like he... maybe he wants to push in the middle, but I think he's going to have to come back and try to save this gold again. This is his secondary gold, so right now I've mined 2 extra golds, I've mined my 2 secondary golds, I've mined my main, and I've mined some of his, so I have, plus I got 5 relics, so any advantage he had from getting the first market trading is pretty much completely lost. He is still pop capped, so he's doing a good job staying pop capped. He's got lots of food. He's running out of wood though, and you can see he's chopping wood right here. This middle wood's pretty much gone. And then right here, he's got some wood right here, but it's occasionally getting raided, so he doesn't really have a great spot to get wood. Whereas since I have map control, wood's not really an issue. I got trees for days. I can keep moving trees all over the place. Plus I got almost 7,000 wood in the bank, so should be fine there. But eventually I'm gonna notice that he's really focusing on chopping these trees over here, and I figure that he's out of trees. This castle almost going down. I was preparing for his assault here, but it looks like it wasn't coming. He's still attacking that castle right here. And like I said, he would have to come back down here to try to save the gold. And you can see I'm sitting here mining it now. And every villager that's holding this oh so precious gold and dies, it just goes to waste. Just falls on the ground and goes to the wayside. So isn't that unfortunate? I do have all these siege onagers. I need to pull them forward and do something with them. And looks like those trebs finally took down that gate, so they can start working on doing something a little more productive, like killing castles or maybe that TC, although TCs aren't the most important thing in the world right now. Some scouts coming forward, gonna, well, die from halberdier and then try to kill some villagers. And really trying to focus on too much right now. This fight is really important. These onagers now finally coming forward, and he has to GB out of here. He knows there's no way he can afford to waste his whole army off these onagers, and I'm going to pull back now that he noticed them. Excuse me. Fruit.Apple is, of course, still out of gold and starting to run out of wood. He's trying to hold on to this, and he's keeping me off the gold. This is pretty much a neutral gold pile right here, and the last gold in the game. These onagers just waiting, I guess, for an opportunity to come in here and try to do some damage. He's making a few halberdier, and yeah, basically just a full-on trash war here. A few more scouts going to come in and try to do some raiding. They got a pretty free path to come in. A few more stables coming up. And yeah, really not much to say. I think it's just right now, it's just pretty much a losing battle for Fruit.Apple. He can play the best he wants, and the fact that he doesn't have the relics right now is really going to hurt him. I have 1,500 gold in the bank right now, and I can make a pretty decent army with that. You can see I'm basically saving it for siege, which I'm not making any siege right now, but I have I have several onagers at home. He doesn't have the ability to do that. I'm still primarily making trash, of course, because my gold's limited. It's only coming in so much, but I do have quite a bit saved up right now, and I need to spend it to get something with it. Perhaps champions would be a pretty good route to go. They'd be able to kill those skirmishers pretty well. Also, making cavaliers wouldn't be the worst idea in the world either. So both choices pretty solid. I'd probably go for champs because they're a whole lot cheaper. Let's see what we got here. Again, just completely out of wood here for Fruit.Apple. He's only able to get wood at this one location right here, and that's it. So right now, I think he's just being stubborn right now, and he's got 143 population. He's probably just gonna try to throw it all he's got. Maybe I was gonna say maybe one final push, but there's really no way to push. The trebuchet is now coming forward, gonna take down that town center. Still have these onagers here, and although I am kind of losing this fight here. There's really not. I don't know if I'm losing the fight. There's just a whole lot of stray units right now. It's not really everything focused at once. So these trebs could potentially die, which would sure be unfortunate. Fruit.Apple having to resort to making villagers again because he's just losing so many. And he's now going to have to fight hard to keep his wood, and he's also got to fight to try to keep his gold. So he's basically fighting just to hold on right now. Losing some onagers here, it's never a good thing at this point in the game. And let's check. Chachanator now up to 16, almost 1,700 gold, and climbing. There's a few trebs now coming forward, going to finish taking out the castle. I think 2 shots and that castle will be GG. And you also notice one of the things I did was I was pushing in here on the front, but he had all these castles, so it was just worth it to just go around the castles and try to hit his ecos from the side. And well, I mean, I went over here because that's where the gold was, but originally the reason why I started pushing up here on the north end was because, well, that's where his economy was. I do have these gold units that I'm really not using, and I should be, and now I got a trebuchet sitting out here in the idle. It did take out a castle, but that trebuchet is going to die, and that's not really a good thing. This trebuchet might die as well too, it's just literally just sitting there. Chachanator 150 pop, out of food, had plenty of gold though, and Fruit.Apple sitting here on no gold. He's got a little bit of food. He's starting to gather wood again, and now I'm starting to gather wood in his spot. And really, I'm just trying to play this one smart right now. I have the game won, but I don't want to do anything to kind of throw the game. I thought he had more of a military than he does have right now. He really doesn't have much of anything. A few halberdier, a few scouts, and I think this is his last kind of hoorah here. Let's see, if I was him, I'd be coming this way because, of course, I'd want to take this gold, but also he's got to protect this wood. So if he loses this whole flank thing, he's pretty much lost whatever chance he had coming back in this game. Onagers now coming forward, going to try to do what they do, and really not going to do too great against halberdier. I mean, they're not going to be terrible. But there's all these skirmishers here, and these skirmishers, like I say, counter halberdier pretty nicely. So I think they'll be able to clean this up. And I think that was his last main army. He's got a few scouts here hitting that castle. I got more scout cavalry coming in now to the back of his base. You can see I've had a few back here before. I don't know if they're doing too much, but at least they'll slow down his economy at the very least. Looks like he's trying to do some damage where he can, I got him in a pretty good position right now. I got him pretty locked down. Right now, I'm at 1,800 gold, starting to spend that gold to make a few trebuchets. Going to take those castles out, and I'm going to be able to take them off his stone here. I thought I went for some cavalier, or champions or something. But I think I'm stuck on this trash mode, and then I hit my pop cap, and I notice, holy crap, I got a lot of gold. And so I start spinning it pretty quickly after that, but right now it's just stuck on trash mode. But if I was making gold units right now, I should be able to push this a lot easier. Trying to save my castle from dying, but it's kept him busy at the very least, and it's not really a big deal right now because there's really not much he can do. Anyway. So I think it's pretty much GG right now. I'm going to go ahead and speed this game up a little bit. I think, you know, green really doesn't have much of a chance coming back here. Again, since I have the 5 relics, he doesn't have any. He has no source of gold income. He hasn't been able to recapture his gold here. He's got his last wood pile here on the front, and you can see I got 1,400 gold in the bank. I got wood and food on pop cap. He's on 143 pop. Coming in, might be able to take out these trebs here. I do have some onagers here though, and yeah, I'm gonna lose these 2 trebs, which is unfortunate. He lost the castle here on the front. Coming in with a pretty big push here. Let's go ahead and slow things down. Watch this. And now you can see these onagers doing a good amount of damage to these guys. Probably enough. Yeah, these probably going to be enough to go ahead and stop him here. Coming over here, pushing in again, coming up with some trebs, taking on these castles. He's down to just these 2 castles, and he's got 2 back in the middle of his base. But he's got bigger problems here with this wood line, and that's his last bit of safe wood to go for. If he loses that, then he really can't do much. These trebs now coming in, going to work on taking down that next castle. And speed this up again just a tad bit. Oh, what is up with these players? They're just not GGing. 125, 122 pop now for Chachanator. I'm looking at him. Yeah, 200 pop for Chachanator. I don't know, it said Chachanator, but that was him. I was gonna say, wow, man, I sure fell behind. But there you go. He's on 116 pop, almost double his pop right now. And there you go. There's a GG. And oh, I'm sorry, it was on loop. I'll replay it and we'll look at achievements. Alright, well, there's the GG, guys. Sorry about that. I apologize. I don't know whatever idiot came up with a demo loop, but I can understand having it, but why it's automatically checked and you gotta uncheck it, I don't know. Anyway, so basically, I think what this game came down to is pretty obvious. It came down to the relics, the fact that I had all 5. I did go for them pretty early, but the actual previous game I played was against again another 2000 Steam player, and well, basically, I think I had 1 relic and he had 4, and I got killed. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I went for those nice and early, and it wound up paying off at the end. I think the real only option that Green had was to push everything and take this gold and just absolutely pour everything in, making sure that that happened. And then once he got that gold, just his probably best option would have been to push right up the middle. I have no castles here or anything, and he would have been able to take these 2 monasteries and stop my relic income. So I think that was really his only option, and he wasn't able to actually make that happen. Obviously, it's easier said than done, and not to say I would have let that happen anyway. But let's go ahead and check the achievements. So looking at the achievements, we can see it was actually a pretty close game as far as the score is concerned. Military stat wise, KDRs were practically the same when you're looking at the 1500 levels. Building raised, I did have the advantage there. And largest army, he significantly had the largest army. There's at one point where I thought I had lost the game and I wound up being able to hold on. Resources collected, you can see I had more wood, he had more food, he had a lot more stone, but gold is what killed him. 25,500 gold, and he had 15,000 gold. And basically I got both the extra golds, and I had 5 relics, which is a huge amount of gold. You can see made almost 9,000 gold just off the relics alone. He made 0. Villager high, pretty much the same. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all next time.